What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the show. Cheeze, welcome, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for bringing this. This is Southern Tier, distilled in New York. Ramon couldn't make it today, so the Squid Hat is taking Ramon's place.
It's smoked, but...
All right, here we go. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's
it goes
not
down
awful.
smoother than it smells.
Yeah. And speaking of going down and smoother and smells,
wow.
Batman doesn't eat pussy. What the fuck is going on with our favorite hero?
Jesus fucking Christ.
That was a really stellar segue. Thank you for the setup. I saw it, it clicked, the hamster got right on the wheel.
Yeah. That's... Oh, man. I wish, like, I knew that I had that kind of tact.
Nah, hey,
because
sometimes you gotta get lucky.
Yeah. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut.
So apparently, series co-creator and executive producer Justin Halpern wanted a scene where Batman went down on Catwoman.
Yeah,
and
this is for, what,
Harley Quinn Season 3.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't watched Harley Quinn on HBO Max, it's one of the best animated series I've ever watched. It's hilarious. At no point does it take itself seriously. I had my doubts. I was like, this is probably going to be stupid. I was hooked by, like, episode 2. Nice. It's so good. And they wanted to have a scene. It's a pretty raw, it pulls no punches. Sure. It's a great series. But it's an adult series. They curse, there's sex jokes and things like that. They've not had an outright sex scene. But, it doesn't seem like something that they would stop at. Yeah. I don't think they would show nudity anyway. But the idea was, DC was like, no, heroes don't do that. That's a quote. Heroes don't do that. They said that they, quote, we sell consumer toys for heroes. It's hard to sell a toy if Batman is going down on someone. Now, first of all,
Listen, this will sell plenty of toys, just not the action figures that we're talking about here.
That's a fact. This is Batman we're talking about.
Right.
Batman is the king of prep time. This seems right up his alley. This Batman should be all about the cunnilingus as far as I'm concerned.
I feel it's just so fucking hypocritical because, what was it, 2 years ago we had Bat Dick.
We did have Bat Dick, as a matter of fact.
So that's full frontal being shown.
It was in shadow, but I mean, you could see some shit, Batman was not want for much.
Right. It's like heroes don't do that. Like it's such a draconian fucking Puritan view.
It's so Puritan, yeah. That's a good term for it. It's so ridiculous. And just I'll say this much. We had a comment when I posted the story to Instagram and said we were going to discuss it today. And this one dude was like, frankly, I don't need a Batman Catwoman sex scene. Neither do I. No. I just want to make that clear. I don't need nudity. I don't need a sex scene. I can have the implication.
Sure.
I don't need an outright fucking hentai scene. That's ridiculous.
Right. The thing is, you could do so much comedically with an implied scene in the bedroom between Selena Kyle and fucking Bruce.
Absolutely.
And just go to town with it. Like, it doesn't even have to be about the act itself. It could just be about something that's going on. It sparks a conversation, hilarity ensues, and cut scene. That's it.
Yeah. And not for nothing. I mean, I'm not one to say how you raise your kids or nothing, but kids probably shouldn't be watching this show.
Right. Thank you.
When you get to your teenage years or like close to it, fine. Right. But this is not a show for 5-year-olds. Right. Period.
And let's face it, like you said, show for adults, DC, about selling figures. Well, these adults are pretty much going to buy the most risque Catwoman statue they could fucking find anyway.
That's another fact. Like, there's mad statues out there that are very sexy and, whatnot. Like, some of them are anime inspired, but some of them are just, like, hot looking, whatever. Yeah. These sculptors are making some really dope statues.
I can't tell you, I went quick.
And not to cut you off, but on the subject of toys, who's buying most of these toys to begin with? Big dummies like us. So, what's the problem, DC?
It's like you're gonna make it adult, but like as an interesting segue, like I made the mistake of going down the rabbit hole of let me just see if I could find a cute statue of Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII and see what the ballpark ranges are. And I just looked on Amazon. I didn't check anywhere else on the web.
Okay, I got an answer for you, by the way.
My jaw hit the fucking floor.
With just the quality, like the sculpts and stuff?
The sculpts, the quality, but also the prices. Prices are through the fucking roof.
Really? What are we talking about?
I saw one that was over $1,000.
Wow.
I've seen another one that was about, I think it was like between $100 and $300.
Not for nothing. I just placed an order at Square Enix, like .com, whatever. Just search it. I don't know exactly what the website is. I'll put it down there for you guys watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they have like some really cool, fairly generic, but Final Fantasy VII statues. I was real close to ordering the Sephiroth one. They're about $150. They're about along the same lines as like a Play Arts or a Hot Toy or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I have seen some really dope Tifa statues. Yeah. One of our friends cosplays as Tifa, so I was like, let me take a look, see what collectibles they got. And I was on eBay, so I saw how high these prices can go.
Right. But getting back to the show, it's like, okay, you're taking the most human of superheroes in the DC universe, and you're basically taking away his humanity. Like, I'm sorry, but sometimes the dude got to get his dick wet. I'm just saying.
Batman is
Even Superman's got to get his dick wet sometimes.
Bruce is not exactly, want for girlfriends. Right.
Exactly.
You mean to tell me that he's never pleased a woman just for pleasing herself? Like, that seems selfish to me.
Precisely.
So that's wrong, DC. Period. Sometimes it's just fun to please the woman.
Exactly. Like. You can't just assume that every single pretty woman on his arm is just a trophy.
Right.
Because that's misogynistic.
Speaking of DC and the Batman universe, I just want to let everybody know that the Titans Season 3 trailer is out. We will not be discussing it because I didn't watch it. I finally started watching Titans. I have not seen Season 2 yet, so I did not watch the trailer for fear of spoilers.
We'll have to, I guess, wait for
we'll just return to that. I will probably have it done by the time the next show airs. But I am very much enjoying Titans. Like, I was kind of want for a show, and I'm like, let me see what these DC Universe shows were all about. Like, because I never had the app.
Yeah.
But I had HBO, and now I have HBO Max, so I'm like, all right, let's see what goes on here.
I'll have to check it out because because I'm with AT&T, I get HBO Max for free.
Oh, good.
So
yeah, no, it's absolutely worth your time, and it's another adult show. Like I thought that there was just one F-bomb when Dick Grayson was like, "Fuck Batman." No, there's F-bombs all over the place, and I thought it was
nice to see a little bit of like an R-rated or Max type of
a more realistic take on their kids and their. Fed up with authority and all of this kind of stuff. Like, I thought I wasn't going to like it for that reason. Because, I don't know, I get this weird thing about my heroes cursing.
Yeah.
See, now that's when I say heroes don't do that.
Right.
Because I have a foul mouth and I think of myself as a villain. So heroes aren't me. I'm not the hero in my own tale.
But you know for a fact that there's two, especially in the Marvel Universe, there's two right off the bat we're going to be cursing. Punisher
and Wolverine. Yeah, no, certainly. But I don't want to hear that shit out of Spider-Man's mouth.
Right, exactly. Those are like the rule, like where it's. I want to say those are like the exception to that rule, where it's like, okay, those guys are going to be heroes, but they're almost anti-heroes, so they can get away with it.
right? Certainly.
You're not going to see Cap do it. Aside from like what you've seen.
You're definitely not going to see Cap do it. Right.
Just like. Son of a bitch, like
right, so silly shit. Like if you can get away with it in a comedic factor,
which they did in the Avengers.
Like in the case of Spider-Man, if you think that you can really get away with Spidey doing a like in Homecoming, what the get off?
Yep,
perfect.
Yep, exactly.
Like who's this shit with Ray Romano? Remember that stand-up? And he's like, hold on a second. I don't usually do this, but Carnegie fucking Hall.
Right.
Because he's a pretty clean comedian. Things. But, like, see, that's an acceptable instance.
Absolutely, yeah.
But, like, going back to Titans, I didn't think I was going to like it. But, because the preliminary pictures of the show were all awful. Right. They were god-awful. And I was not a huge Teen Titans fan. Like, I read a couple of stories here and there, but I wasn't religious on it. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a perfectly fine take on it. Hardcore fans would be like, this is garbage for this reason and this reason. And hey, I know that logic. I subscribe to that logic on many features. In this case, I don't because I don't know enough. So I'm one of the laymen on this.
And we're also not personally invested the way those guys are.
Right.
Which,
so, hey,
totally
I get that. If they made a Punisher show that sucked or something, I'd be pretty pissed off. And I'd be listing chapter and verse.
We would not hear the fucking end of it from Pete if it was bad.
As long as you know.
Yeah.
So the other thing come this week is a lot of news out of E3. I am not a video game guy. Like I sold most of my video games. I have my PSP still and my graphically beautiful versions of various Final Fantasies. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Right.
And like the Nintendo Classic and whatnot.
Sure.
But you've been up on this, so
a little bit here and there. Like I cherry picked a handful of stuff I wanted to focus on. But so comic book wise, the biggest one that I took out of that was the announcement of game for Guardians of the Galaxy.
That looks
pretty
really
stoked
cool.
For that.
Yep.
That looks pretty cool. I really hope it's far better than what I heard the latest Avengers game came out last year.
So when that dropped, it bombed because there were like mad glitches. I heard. I have heard recently that they patched it up and it's running smoothly now.
Well, thank God for that. But I heard that despite like the obvious glitchy part of things, that the story was kind of meh. Mm-hmm. But
that's a shame.
If I can, I'm probably gonna upgrade to Xbox Game Pass, so I might actually give that a whirl when I do. But Guardians of the Galaxy announced also coming out on the Switch, so I guess multi-platforms, which is cool. I checked out some of the stuff coming out for the Nintendo Switch. The biggest thing that stuck out to me was they announced a new Metroid. And
I did see that one.
Metroid
you sent that around.
Dread. And it's Metroid mixed with like the big baddie from Resident Evil 2 and 3 that you can't fucking kill.
That's chasing you around, right?
That's chasing you around.
Now, you sent this.
Gigantic robot dog, basically, for lack of a better term. It's classic with a really
just
nice modern
graphics are amazing.
Yeah.
But it's 2D, which is a departure from a lot of the recent Metroid games, which is why I wasn't interested until it was Ramon in the basement group chat was like, oh, it's like the classic, but retooled. And I was like, all right, now you have my attention.
Right.
Because I can't do first-person shooters. I'm that noob that's just in the wall, just like, and then I die. Like, I'm the guy who would be made fun of if I went live. Like, I suck at that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
But that's what that shit reminded me of. Like, when Nemesis is chasing you through Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
And, like, I had heart failure when you're in the police station in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I heard... Like, so I'm a kid, whatever, when we were 16 years old or something like that. And I'm playing the game, and I got the lights off like you're supposed to and everything. And I heard, like, glass break. I'm like, oh, my God, he came in the window. And I was like, wait a minute, pause. I go outside when my folks was watching TV, and I'm like, yo, was that glass breaking on your show or on my game? Like, no, it just happened on the show. I'm like, okay, good, all right. So I go back in, I got my head cleared, my heart stopped pounding, I'm going down the stairs, crash! This motherfucker comes through the goddamn window with the bazooka. Stars! Boom! I'm dead. Fuck.
Oh, fucking
I can't. I'm not playing that Metroid shit. I'll watch it on YouTube. I'll watch some professional do it. I can't be chased by a goddamn mechanical dog. You can't kill through the whole fucking game.
Oh, God.
I used to have heart failure when Tyrant would be like just swatting you with his hand. I died every time.
Oh God, have you heard about since they shipped the Resident Evil series, entire series is on PC. It's on Steam now. And they have updated remakes and remasterings of the classic games.
So I can watch zombies in high definition?
Yes.
Thanks anyway.
Yeah.
No.
But the best thing about it is that for the PC are the mods. The mods are fucking classic. So you have Resident Evil 2 remake. Yeah, they have tons and tons of mods for Mr. X. It's fucking hilarious. Okay, there's one where they turned him into Thomas the Tank Engine. They have another, and it plays the music.
Thomas the Tank music?
Yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine music. You have one for Shrek in Resident Evil 3. But my favorite by far is they have a visual mod where they basically have him in a banana hammock with the Umbrella logo emblazoned on it.
That's upsetting.
Wearing shades and squeak shoes. So you actually hear him coming down the hall.
I'm not sure if that's better or worse.
Right. And of course, the best thing of it is DMX, God rest your soul, X gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you. As soon as he shows up, it's fucking hilarious.
That's cool.
So,
there's also there was an announcement for Final Fantasy. Actually, apparently Square is going to release all of the original Final Fantasy games in pixel perfect, quality.
Yeah,
we're not really sure what that means. There were no images at all, so we don't know. Does that mean that they're going to redo the exact games again? Because that's been done time and again. With the I don't think we got. I don't know if we got a Final Fantasy 3 per se, except for the 3D remake. Mm-hmm. I know we got an FF5 for Game Boy Advance. I played through that one. I did not beat it because fuck you, Shinru and Omega. Jerks. But nevertheless, I played through Final Fantasy 1 dozens of times, especially now having the Nintendo Classic.
Yeah.
And I have it on the PSP, which is just beautiful. Retooled graphics and everything. So I like the idea of getting some of those games. I'd love to play Final Fantasy 3. I'd like to play Final Fantasy 5 again. But do I need it exactly the same? No, I redo it. Juice it up.
I feel like a lot of the releases or the re-releases that they've done in the past have either been through a third-party company where they haven't where it's almost emulated, and when you emulate something, it's not going to be 100%, or there might be some visual bugs or whatever. But I do like the idea because I actually I've got gaps in the story of my list of completions throughout the series. Mm-hmm. So I missed out on one. I never played it on the original Nintendo. So I started
hard
with
as
2.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But I started with Final Fantasy IV, which is 2 in the
right.
States. That was my introduction between that. It was that and then Final Fantasy VI, which is just absolutely fucking gorgeous. You don't need to touch or remaster that game or change how it looks. Nothing. You don't have to do.
I would love to see that with updated 2D sprites, the way the PSP pulled off with 1, 2, and 4, respectively. Okay. I would love to see a version of that. I don't like the 3D ones. I didn't play Final Fantasy 4/2 when they did the 3D. I just no.
Yeah, didn't
like it.
That seems a bit much. But I mean, getting my hands on Final Fantasy VII Remake, definitely I'm waiting for
that's
it to
on
actually
the list,
drop.
right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for that to drop for the Xbox.
Will it come out for the Xbox?
It's supposed to.
Okay.
I thought it was supposed to. I could be wrong. Let us know. But yeah, that's got me excited because at least I can jump on to and fill in the gaps on all the games I missed.
Now there was a Halo announcement, I believe.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a second. The last thing I wanted to mention about the Nintendo Switch, which I laughed my ass off when I saw it, Super Smash Brothers. They brought in another fighter, and it's Kazuya Mishima from Tekken.
Cool.
And the way they announced it was they had him dropping random other characters from Super Smash Brothers off the cliff that he dropped Heihachi.
Well, that was also because Heihachi dropped his ass off when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Going back to Tekken 1 or 2 or whatever it was.
Right. But I won't spoil it for anybody, but definitely go check it out. It's on YouTube if you look it up. The funniest thing that happens, you see him dropping random people like fucking Zero from Mega Man, a couple of other people. I'm pretty sure Ganondorf, one of the guys from Fire Emblem, drops him. And the best and the last is Kirby. And we're just going to leave it at that. It's fucking funny. But yeah, 343 dropped a multiplayer trailer for Halo Infinite. They still don't have a specific release date for Halo, but it is going to drop for the holidays this year. So I'm going to assume probably November it hits. The gameplay from the multiplayer is absolutely fucking gorgeous. They never really lost a step for me with the gameplay in this game, as this will be their third full-length game in the Halo franchise. from taking over. Like they took over midway through Halo Reach. Bungie fulfilled their contract, and they left Microsoft at that point to go do Destiny. And 343 took over. So this is now, aside from fixing Halo Reach and doing the Master Chief Collection, which is everything wrapped up into one bundle on Xbox, this is their third full-length game where it's completely theirs. And storyline, so-wise, it sounds really cool. It's an homage to the original. The gameplay looks gorgeous. The graphics look sick. Some of the like the action sequences they show in the trailer are like jaw-dropping, and I can't wait to do some of the shit that they do. So like they have bringing back new equipment. The newest is you can find a grappling hook, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do something.
You never had a grappling hook?
No. I immediately got Bionic Commando vibes, and I'm just like, yeah, gimme. So you can grapple weapons to yourself, you can grapple enemies to yourself and then punch them. You can grapple what they call fusion cores, which are basically just gigantic explosive cubes. Launch it at a vehicle and blow it up. But one of the best things I saw was this one guy had a sniper rifle, grapples into the ceiling, and hip fires, aka no scopes somebody in midair, then drops down on another enemy, smacks him in the back, grabs his weapon, and kills a third guy. Like, all in one fluid motion. I'm like, this is Halo. So, I'm fucking stoked.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So, when this comes out, we just expect not to see you for like a good month or two.
No, you'll still see me. I mean, I might have blood red eyes.
Fair.
Might have a little bit more on the face than I usually do.
Mildly unkempt, that's fine.
Yeah. But, Halo's the reason why I got back into gaming.
Okay.
In the first place. So, everything that I've seen so far has me really excited.
Cool. Yeah. Segueing off of games, but kind of staying within the same realm. Now, you finished Castlevania, correct?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm midway through season 2.
Okay, so you're still going.
Yeah.
All right, well, no spoilers to the end or anything, but some good news for Castlevania fans on Netflix. Found out, I believe it was this week or sometime last week, that this is not the end. As a matter of fact, there is another series coming, and it is set in the late 1700s, French Revolution, I believe, and it's going to star Richter Belmont, who is the great something ancestor of Trevor. So, Should be pretty cool. I know a lot of people, like myself, were pretty miffed that they skipped over Simon.
Right.
So I don't really know where Richter falls within the timeline, but I do know that Trevor is Simon's grandfather, so clearly Simon should have been in the middle there somewhere. I'm assuming that they'll probably just save Simon for last then, because everybody wants to see Simon, and this again goes back to what I've been harping on not only this show 2 weeks ago, but on Geek Vibes Nation, which if you haven't checked out our show yet, Figure It Out, which is on the Geek Vibes Nation YouTube channel, and also the Marvel Cinematic Review, which we now do on Wednesdays to review Loki. I was not on yesterday's show, but I will be on next week because I didn't get a chance to watch it. Either way, I've been harping on the fact that not only DC, but Marvel is especially guilty of this for example, not using Mephisto in WandaVision when we all expected him to show up.
Right.
Or at least a more of a hint to him.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Are you, you're keeping your cards close to, the table? You don't want to play those cards yet because you think that you're going to have the chance to? This little beautiful bubble of comic book glorious nerddom on television and movies could pop at any moment. And then you're not going to be able to use those cards because it's going to be game over.
Right.
So do the shit. Put in Mephisto as soon as you get the chance. Put fucking Doctor Doom in. Put in Simon Belmont. Who the fuck cares about Richter? We want Simon. Simon's the guy who started this series. Put the respect there. You go in order. I understand you can backtrack anytime you want, but for God's sakes, stop stalling. Stop waiting.
Not everybody needs to go Tarantino with timelines and shit like that.
You know what happens to he who hesitates. Remember that. You do know what happens to he who hesitates. Just saying.
Fair enough.
Also out this week. And I mean, God, 4-year-old Pete was just glued to the TV. I was just watching that shit over and over again.
Oh, I know what's coming. Okay.
The He-Man trailer.
Yes.
Masters of the Universe revelation from Kevin Smith, of all people. Yo, it looks really good.
Yes, it does.
I had one gripe that I was joking about, and I still stand by it. But watching it over and over again, the happiness of seeing all of the fantastically done characters warmed over the dopey Sailor Moon transformation. I thought, like, oh, my favorite part was when Prince Adam turned into Sailor Moon. I'm like, come on, what was that? The turning and the rainbow and stuff. Come on. Just, I have the power. Castle Grayskull, lightning, fucking boom. Oh, done. What? What was wrong with that transformation, Kevin? What?
That I think is just a lot of anime influence, which is fine.
Hey,
totally fine.
Listen, I stayed away from the 2000X series because of its anime like feel and vibe, and you know, the animation was mad anime, big jumps and huge swords and extensive movements and shit, and that was one of the best storylines in Masters of the Universe history. It fleshed out so many cool characters and established so much awesome canon that I'm hoping, because this show is kind of ignoring that, and it's a continuation directly from the original cartoon series.
Okay.
So I'm hoping it takes some of that, or most of that, into account and brings it forward for a new generation. And the toys look awesome too. Yeah. Like, the toys are really fucking nice. I didn't like them when they first dropped because they were made small and blurry pictures, but we've since gotten some cooler shots, and the face sculpt is fantastic on He-Man. It's probably the nicest face sculpt I've seen on a Masters of the Universe figure so far. I'm ecstatic. It drops in a couple weeks. It drops in the first week of July.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be so awesome. I can't wait.
And it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Okay,
the
cool.
first half of season 1 is dropping. It's probably going to be like 4, maybe 6 episodes or so. So don't get your hopes
Sounds
up
about right.
for like a weekend-long binge.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
But it's going to be friggin' dope.
I mean, you know, with the animation studios and like what they did with Voltron and also with Castlevania,
Precisely.
they don't have really extended, you know, seasons at all.
But they also Voltron was so fulfilling. Castlevania was amazing. Looking at the cast alone, from Lena Headey to Alan Oppenheimer back, Mark Hamill as Skeletor.
Like, yes, please. Like, thank
Holy
God.
shit.
Like, you know, again, I mean, Mark Hamill...
Bring forth your champion. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's different, but that's good.
Yeah. So, like, you know, I want to see a lot of action. I want to see a much more sinister Skeletor at work.
I like you'll definitely. I'm getting vibes from the Skeletor from the 2000X series, who was definitely much more evil and less so the goofball jokester who was the butt of every joke. You know,
right? Yeah, and he made his minions the butt of every joke too.
Yeah, like you're not gonna have that in this. It doesn't look like, and seeing like the classic vehicles like Landshark and Bashosaurus.
Yeah,
and I gotta say this, I am a sucker for I Need a Hero. I really am.
Yeah.
Ever since the Star Wars, and I mean, say what you want about
that clip of Kylo.
Was it not Revenge of the Sith? Whatever
it was Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. Thank you.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Whoever put that together was
holy shit.
Fucking brilliant.
Stellar editing. When the lyric hits, I need a hero, and like, you know. When the action can match that lyric, that's just editing perfection. And having done this show for this long, I can recognize, I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
And when the transformation comes around and then He-Man catches the Bashosaurus, like, bashy ball thing, and it's like, and the song picks up, I'm like, all right, you got me. I'm in, you got me.
Right. And also, like, not just for that, because it fits with the flow of the trailer. The fact that it's a song from the 80s that came out around the same fucking time as the show.
That's also true.
Like, you know, again, well played. You're playing to the newer fans by giving them a sick action sequence, and also, you know, acknowledging the lifelong fans, you and me, everybody else in the basement crew, I'm pretty sure, who watched this shit when we were kids, and just like, yeah, that's just gonna take you on a fucking time warp. I love it. So
I'm
there
really
are
looking
very
forward
few
to this.
things. There are very few things that make me want to go back to the 80s. This is one of them.
I constantly want to go back to the 80s because I hate the world we're living in. The more time I spend on social media, the more I either want to punch everyone in the world in the face or I just root for the asteroid. That counts.
Yeah, but, if the asteroid hits and we survive, then the fucking zombies...
It's even worse. I don't want to survive. It's the last thing I want to fucking do. I want nature to shake us all off like a bad set of fleas.
Yeah.
That's for you, big guy.
Didn't Carlin talk about that? Was that him?
I don't remember.
Like every now and then, an asteroid, Mother Nature calls up an asteroid and shakes you off like a...
Listen, man,
like
I'm hoping for
fart.
Yellowstone. The ground there is still rising. Like, yeah, man, let's do it. Cumbre Vieja, collapse right into the sea. Give me a supersonic tsunami. I'm good. Something. Yeah. I don't want to go out in World War III. That seems so boring. Okay. Last but not least, this week, we've got Loki. 2 episodes have dropped so far. It's still a lot of setup. They're giving you a little hint. Have you gotten a chance to watch this yet?
I have not. I plan to tomorrow.
Okay.
But I have not gotten a chance to pick this up yet.
All right, so it's only 2 episodes in, so I'm not going to worry about too many spoilers. It's really just speculation at the moment.
Sure.
And for any of you who have not seen episode 1 or 2, you may want to stop the video now, and I'll wave to you when it's time to come back. But I'm going to do a couple of little spoilers here for episode 2. The first of which is this girl, Ravonna, I think he calls her. She was the girl at like the judge's desk. And she was hanging out with Owen Wilson's character, Mobius. And they were talking like they were kind of an item, like just the banter that was going back and forth. Like she had a pen from the Roosevelt administration, from Franklin Roosevelt. And he was like, "Oh, who gave you this? Another TSA agent that, kind of like playing a little jealousy card, whatever." And he goes to put his drink down, and his mad rings on the wood end table. And she's like, "Mobius." And she hands him a coaster. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And the rings were there already. She's like, "Yeah, they're all yours." So, like, there's that cute little, like, possibly a couple, maybe not, but almost, whatever. And it turns out, as this was pointed out to me by Absolute, I didn't know this. That's Kang's girlfriend in the comics.
Oh, shit.
So, Mikey, our boy Mikey the Shadow Sutton, was speculating that is Owen Wilson Kang. Or a version of Kang. Because we don't know yet. And right now, Loki is all about the sacred timeline. The Timekeepers are keeping the sacred timeline, that little wavy, giant strand of spaghetti that in the air, like that the Ancient One was showing Bruce back in Endgame, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know, is there a multiverse or is it right now one timeline? Because the Timekeepers have worked to coalesce everything together and work on, because the multiverses were fighting amongst themselves to be the dominant one. And the Timekeepers said, all right, we're going to clean this up. And stop fighting, we're going to clean it up. So right now, and this is Ramon's theory as well, like there is only one timeline. But it doesn't gel because we've gotten different time variants of Loki so far. And we've seen different variants of Loki. So I'm thinking that there's a bunch of... The fact that
Loki's alive in and of itself is a time variant.
Right. Is an indication of possibly the multiverse. And we see another Loki in this. And it looks like that's... spoiler alert. She's from another timeline. So we get the female Loki. Now, I'm thinking that there's a whole bunch of different timelines, but there is the one sacred one. Now, can this sacred one be for all the timelines, or is different shit happening? Or are there only subtle differences, like we have a female Loki, but she did all the same shit as our Loki, So is Owen Wilson Kang in another timeline or something like that? Does he become Kang? Because we also know that the dude from Lovecraft Country is playing Kang in Ant-Man 3. So how does all of this, tie together? Right. So we've got the female Loki who does not look like the female Loki that we're used to.
Right.
Long black hair. She looks like Sif.
Right.
And, with just the horns. So this Loki is blonde. And that was the first thing I thought. I was like, yeah, that don't look like the female Loki that we know. But
Looks more like Enchantress.
Precisely. So, apparently not in our Netflix, but in the Spanish dub, the credits credit the actress is Sofia Di Martino, and they credit her role as Sylvie. And Sylvie Lushton, is actually the second character in Marvel Comics to call herself the Enchantress. The first being the Asgardian Amora.
Right.
Now, the way the MCU twists characters around, that could be a alias of Amora, and this could actually be the Enchantress.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting.
That would be dope as shit.
Yeah. And that would also lend itself to maybe this isn't so many different timelines going on. But
in all honesty, like, not to cut you off, but in all honesty, I would have thought that we would have seen Amora the Enchantress before we ever saw Hela.
We're all very We're all very surprised that we have not run into her, at least as like a supporting character, because we've actually seen her sister in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Sure.
Several episodes, seasons ago or whatever.
And
now,
in a handful of episodes, no less.
Yeah, at least 2.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is...
Oh, shit!
Hey, buddy. Give me 1 second to just wrap up this point. But come in. You don't have to stand in the doorway like a weirdo.
I like being a weirdo.
That's fine. I do too.
We're all weird here.
We're all a bit mad here. So, Ramon has the idea that maybe Loki, or the female Loki, or both of them, are somehow going to mess up the sacred timeline, and this is how we actually move into the multiverse of madness. Right. And that ties into, obviously, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man 3. Yeah. Where are we going with this? Who knows? But Loki's only 6 episodes, so at least we don't have to stay buckled up for very long.
Yeah. Like, I was thinking initially, like, when you were giving that explanation about the sacred timeline, that the timeline has to allow for slight variances to happen and then resolve themselves. Mm-hmm. In order for these timekeepers to keep that in balance, you have to allow for some shit to go sideways, and then, no, you get back in here. Right. Shit like that. But, like you said, Multiverse of Madness is coming out. I think I would love to have that be the moment where we get Mephisto. Because, like, Doctor Strange already took care of Dormammu, and Mephisto's his... Right. Aside from Doctor Doom,
we're probably going to get we're going to get some sort of, like, mix of Nightmare and Mephisto, and I just hope they call him Mephisto. That's all I want. I don't care how much of a mixture, what his powers are. Call his ass Mephisto, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, let's actually knock off this sacred timeline and switch to another Pete's Basement universe. Craddock, man, what's up? Welcome back to the basement, brother. It is good to be back.
So nice to be
What have you brought for us?
Pirate juice.
Pirate juice.
It is Diplomatico, which is an aged barrel rum. From
now we're talking.
Venezuela.
All right, let me grab. Since I still have a lot of bourbon left, and there's no way I'm shooting that without throwing up. I'm going to grab a couple of...
But do not taste... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, let me grab a couple of shot glasses.
I am a sucker for a good rum that you can just sip straight by itself.
Well, let's let the man pour.
Oh yes, of
please.
course.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the honor.
Thank you. And we are going to close out the show with a contest that we started 2 weeks ago. We asked you guys and gals and everyone else to simply comment under the video. I made this entry as easy as humanly possible, and you are going to win some Unstoppable comics from my boy J.D. Rosario. We've got Storm Chasers issue 1, Shield of the Interceptor graphic novel, and Unstoppable Origins. So I took all of the names of everyone who commented, and I put it all right here in this Marty McFly hat. Ooh. So let's shake all that up. I don't want to damage the hat, so I'm not closing it, so I'm just going to have this little... God forbid seizure right here.
I mean, it's from 2015, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, I know, really. God, yeah, it's from the past, isn't it? How awful is that?
Oh, it's awful, but it made me laugh. So.
Well, I guess that's the winner. Hey, that's the one.
Yep,
that's the one. Oh, no, I can't put the hat on the table. Grandma will haunt me.
If she doesn't already.
Grandma McFly? No.
And the winner is Dijon Venny. Dijon Venny, send us your address, buddy, and we will ship off your comics. And just to be cool, I'm going to draw out 2 more names out of this hat, and we're going to send you just some cool stuff that I find around the basement. Whatever it is. You know what? Gentlemen? Cheeze, would you do the honors? Draw one.
Start your engines. Alrighty, what have
He gets the
we
Ferrari.
got? We have Geek Vibes Podcast. Go for
All right, well, since you're like very closely associated with us, I'll just send you shit. Like
Disqualified? Alright,
Yeah.
disqualified. Alright. Let's try this again.
Yeah, let's try that again. Best of 3.
Alright, we have Jack Reacher.
Nice! Jack Reacher himself. Send
the guy.
us your address. And, Mr. Craddock, would you do the honors, please?
No. Doomsmith.
Doomsmith! All right.
Nice.
He's actually been interviewed on the show. We can't give it to you.
Disqualified.
So, hey, that's the way it goes. Sorry, man. We're friends. I can just send you shit. But it was fair that I throw your name in the hat. So it's
The Yankee.
the Yankee. All
I
right.
get that.
See, now I'm kind of glad that I could say.
We support the Yankees.
Yeah.
Pinstripe pride all the way.
And speaking of support, I want to thank all of you out there on our Patreon. Thank you so much. The donations do not go unheard and unused. Man, it's been a wild ride over the course of the last year, but
What do you mean? No, it's been fine.
it has been so not fun. But thank you very much for sticking with us. The basement is back, and we will be building back way better than not only the federal government, but better than we've ever been before. I can promise you
Kill
that.
them all! I mean,
Yes,
oh, yeah.
that's exactly the plan. That's the plan. We're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill them all, and we're gonna be the best around. You already think we are, and we're gonna live up to that. Yes.
With laughter and comic books.
Kill
Yes.
them with laughter. Yes.
So, if you can donate, only do it if you can afford it to the Patreon. We're working on a whole new set of rewards, the least of which is you get your name in the credits for as little as $1 a month. You get your name in the credits at the end of every single episode. It's awesome.
Was that $12 a year, right?
Yeah, $12. And you get your name right there in the credits, popping up right now.
2 comic books or 1 Netflix subscription.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Another way you could show your support to the basement and get yourself some cool gear is I just put up a bunch of new shirts perfect for summer on represent.com/store/Pete's Basement. We've got the standard logo t-shirt, and we've got the much larger logo shirt with summer hot colors and tank tops. Perfect for summer in all sorts of cool neon colors like neon green,
For the
orange,
gun show.
red, pink, yellow. It's dope. Honestly, I'm really proud of them. They look pretty fucking awesome.
Are we talking like Miami Vice 80s colors?
Always. As loud as
Perfect.
humanly possible.
Perfect.
Hit us up. Questions@Pete'sBasement.com. Facebook.com/Pete's Basement. Instagram, Twitter, etc. @Pete's Basement. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you did dig this episode, hit the like, hit the comment, hit the subscribe, and hit that little notification bell too. It's a simple thing for you, but it really helps us out here with the whole YouTube algorithm, which constantly changes and we don't understand it, but we do know that you hitting the bell is really important for us. So thank you, and that'll let you know every time we upload something new and cool. And believe me, I've got toys aplenty over there that we're going to do some unboxings and stuff. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great summer here in the basement, and we hope you join us. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you pick up a shirt, send us a photo, and we will put you at the end of an episode, and thank you profusely. Once again, who do we have here? The Yankee, Jack Reacher, and our grand prize winner, Dijon Venny. Send us your address, and we're going to send you some cool-ass stuff from the basement. Salud, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back very soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Pete's Basement is copyrighted 2021. Ripped Productions. All rights reserved, so go fuck yourself. Oof. Alright, here we go. Not one to waste whiskey, that's for sure.
Sorry, I'm a little heavy-handed.
Yeah, you are. Oh, God, bourbon. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I like it. Because it reminds me of Spawn and when Youngblood was good, which was never.
Yes.
You wanted Youngblood to be
Well,
good.
wait
I
wait
did.
now.
We always wanted to be
Youngblood issue 2 was the first appearance of Shadowhawk, so
Yes.
Yeah.
it gets 1 point from
The
me.
spine
Yes.
cruncher.
Yes.
Oh, God.
And that's what I'd like to
that.
do to people. Just, I don't want to kill you. I just want to paralyze you for life.
See, that...